Hey everybody, my name is Jake and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for taking some time out of your day to come hang out with me. I really appreciate that. Today, I want to talk about my 5 biggest losses that are currently in my portfolio. Now, you always see people talking about how much they're making and everything, and that is awesome. You always want to encourage those people to keep making money, right? Well, I want to show the other side of that coin. You don't always win, and just because you're losing doesn't mean you need to sell, but that you need to hold on and dollar cost average and just plow through that loss until it becomes a win. There's something called realized loss. So that is when you actually sell your stock. And that means that you realize that you lost money, right? So you don't actually have a loss in that stock until you sell it, or it becomes literally worthless. Like I said, today I want to go over 5, and I hope you learned something. I learned something as well. I'll go over the reasons I bought these stocks even to begin with, and I'll be honest, a lot of it just has to do with inexperience. But let's get into it here, guys, and I'll go over the ones that I have, and I hope you learned something from this. Let's get it. All right, guys, for my first big loss here, it is Triumph Group. As you see, I do have an average cost of $7.23, and the cost it closed at today was $6.75. So as you see, it is 1.99% of my portfolio, and I am down a total of $14.98, or negative 6.68%. And as you see, in this instance, my average cost is lower than the actual stock. That is what I look for when I'm buying stock. I try to dollar cost average to get it down. I do have a hard line at once I hit 100 stocks, I will cut it there. I won't keep buying into it unless I see a change in the company itself. Triumph Group Inc. engages in designing, engineering, manufacturing, repairing, overhauling of aerospace and defense systems, components and structures. It operates through the following 3 segments: Triumph Integrated Systems, Triumph Aerospace Structures, and Triumph Production Support. The Triumph Integrated Systems segment engages in design, development, and supporting proprietary components, subsystems, and systems, as well as production of components, assemblies using external designs. The Triumph Aerospace Structure segment engages in the supplying and commercial business, regional military manufacturers with large metallic and composite structures and produce close tolerance parts. Product Support segment provides full life cycle solutions for commercial, regional, military aircraft. The company was founded by Richard C. III in 1993 and is headquartered in Berwyn. As you see here, they do pay a dividend yield of 2.26. Since I've owned them, though, I have not gotten paid anything from them, which is fine. Personally, this one is a inexperienced stock purchase. I didn't look into when they pay their dividends or anything. I am currently researching this company. I haven't bought any of them for quite some time, and there was a time back just a couple months ago where I was actually up quite a bit on them. I believe it was like $50. Next up here, guys, I actually have a stock that I like quite a bit. It's Oxford Square Capital. I do own 109, so that is that cutoff that I was talking about. I was at 90 and I put $50 into it. I try to put $50 toward a particular stock at a time. But I put $50 toward it, which bought me, I believe, 19, so that put me over the $100 mark. So now I am cutting myself off from purchasing the stock anymore until I see a bump in it, or some life of some form. As you see, it has dropped due to the virus, and it was doing decent. It trades sideways, but even if it trades sideways, it pays a dividend, so I like its dividend quite a bit. As you see here, I have an upcoming dividend from it, and as of late, it's been paying me twice a month, which is very strange, but I am not complaining about it, to be honest. Alright, so Oxford Square Capital Corp common stock, also called Oxford Square Capital, is a business development company which engages in the provision of capital to established businesses, investing in syndicated bank loans and purchasing debt and equity tranches and collateralized loan obligations. The company was founded on July 21st in 2003 and is headquartered in Greenwich. So this company does have a super high dividend according to this, but it is not actually that high anymore. It has been dropping. As you see here, it is now only 0.035 cents per share, which I do own at the time 54 when this paid out. But as you see now, I do own 109 because it had been dropping, so I kept buying into it until I hit that 100 share mark. But now that I have hit that 100 share mark, I will stop buying into it and I'll let it ride for the time being, unless I see a change in the company structure or some sort of life, because it is such a low price stock as is. Alright, next up guys, here we have Central Coast MLP and Infrastructure Fund. It closed today at $8.40, and as you see, I have an average cost of $9.09. I have 26 shares of this, which is 2.07% of my total portfolio. I am down $18.04 or negative 7.63%. So Central Coast Brookfield MLP and Energy Infrastructure Fund, also called Central Coast MLP Infrastructure Fund, is a closed-end management investment fund / investment trust. The firm engages in the provision of total return with an emphasis on distribution up to shareholders. It invests in a portfolio of mastered limited partnership and energy infrastructure companies. The company was founded on May 3rd of 2013 and is headquartered in New York, New York. It does pay a dividend of 4.65. I have not gotten paid a dividend from these guys as of yet. And here's what I was talking about before, that their company is trending downward, but because of the virus it did pretty much collapse. But I do think there is promise in this company, and I will continue to buy per dollar average until I do reach a 100 share limit like I do say. But it all depends on, I try to buy also for my total return to try to keep that average down. So I look at what companies I own that I can bring down the percentage of quickly. Alright, next up guys, we have Capitala Finance. They closed today at $2.07. As you see here, I do have an average cost of $2.52 for 119 shares, which is 2.34% of my portfolio. So now that we're in the top two, we see that my losses get significantly bigger. I have lost $53.54 or a total of 17.85% of my total investment here. Capita Finance Corp common stock, also called Capita Finance, is a closed-end management investment company. It provides capital to low and traditional middle market businesses. The company was founded on May 24th of 2013 and is headquartered in Charlotte. It does pay a dividend as well. I've not been paid out by these guys either. Again, with this one, it is an inexperienced stock that I did buy, and I tried to dollar cost my average down, which ended up making me pop the stock over 100 shares here. And it has been trading pretty sideways for the last 5 years, a couple dips, and then the virus hit, and now it's way down. And again, I'm totally fine with companies trading sideways as long as they keep paying me a dividend. Try not to dip too far down unless the dips are a good opportunity to buy. And in 2020, anything's possible, and these guys have been dipping a lot, so I bought a lot and got a little burned for right now. I'm still gonna ride this one out. And my biggest loss in my portfolio, guys, is Aurora Cannabis. And I know you guys are shaking your head right now. I could just feel it. Aurora Cannabis closed today at $9.35. I have it at an average cost of 15.54% or $4. I own 21 shares, and it is 1.86% of my portfolio. And I have lost a whopping $129.91, which is 39.82% of what I put into it. Again, this is a stock that I invested in back in 2018 when there was a cannabis bubble. So the bubble basically was everything in cannabis was rising. I made quite a bit of money off of like companies like Tilray, and Aurora looked promising to me at the time, but then the bubble burst and it has been slowly declining. It had a couple good times in 2019, but in 2018 the bubble started popping and I lost a lot of money. That's all there is to it. But I am holding on to these guys just in hopes that they do turn around. I know hope is not a business strategy, but like I said at the beginning, it's not a realized loss until I realized I lost all the money. So what is Aurora Cannabis? So Aurora Cannabis Inc. engages in the production, distribution, and sale of cannabis products. It also produces and sells indoor cultivation systems and hemp-related food products. The company was founded by Terry Booth and Steve Dobler on December 21st in 2006 and is headquartered in Edmonton. This is the only stock that I own that does not pay a dividend, and that's because I've owned it since 2018 and it has never became profitable except for in that cannabis bubble that popped. So I've been riding it out. I hope one day, once cannabis becomes legal in the US, that these guys will have a foothold and will have set up the proper channels to continue to sell their products in the US and hopefully take off. But for now, it's just holding game. I do not buy any more of these guys. I bought a little bit a couple months ago, but I don't actively purchase these guys because I try to keep them below 2% of my portfolio. So that is my top 5 biggest losing companies, guys. And the reason I wanted to make this video was to show you guys that it's okay to make mistakes. Play with different stocks once you start getting a little bit of capital build up. If you feel comfortable trying this one, trying that one, it's all a learning process. And do research. Like a lot of these stocks is for me is just inexperience, following trends that I paid the price for, and I'm still paying the price for. But like I said, it's not real. It's not a realized loss until you realize you lost it. And I'll keep saying that because I buy per dollar average, and once I hit the 100 mark, I try to slow down a little bit just so I'm not sinking so much money into those stocks. But if you made it this far, guys, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe if you haven't yet. I try to post twice a week. Other than that, guys, I hope you all are staying safe and you have a good day. Peace.